to differentiate things.
You're having a tough time talking tonight. Differentiate?
Spell that.
Differentiate?
Yeah. If you are an amateur angler, somebody who's new to fishing, I think tournament fishing is one of the best ways to like really engage yourself with it because
Welcome to the Amateur Anglers Podcast. I'm Keisha.
And I'm Jayden.
This is the third episode. I wanted to ask you, Jayden, what have you been up to lately? Tell us something exciting and new.
What have we been up to lately?
What have we been up to lately? Yeah, what have we... No, you specifically. Tell me.
Well, we went to Vegas since the last time that we were on here, I think, right?
Yes, we did. Well, I don't even want to explain, but we missed... We filmed the last episode before we went to Vegas, but we posted it after we came back.
Right.
But either way, you finished up your ice castle season. You took everything off the ice.
We're all done.
We're all done.
Wiped the hands clean.
Finished on a Friday, went to Vegas on a Saturday. We were there for 2 days, came back home. We missed the kids like way too much, so we won't be doing that again. Anyhow, anything else new?
Yeah, so the other day I signed up for, yesterday. I give you crap about doing that all the time.
Yeah.
Yesterday I signed up for the KBI, the Kenora Bass International, so that was pretty exciting. It's, you actually feel like we're getting closer to summer now.
Yeah, I'm excited. It feels like it's coming sooner than, well, you know what? No, there's still so much snow here. I am not.
There is, but it feels like spring is in the air now, it feels like today Today
was beautiful, so yeah.
Today was
hopefully
above freezing, so it kind of felt like it, and now I'm looking at my aerial maps and stuff like that of the lake and
waiting for it to...
Getting excited about
waiting for the ice
my
melt.
ice out reports that are coming up soon.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, Jayden likes to post some videos or some pictures on Instagram showing...
Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated
melting,
on that.
The ice melting on the lake.
Jeremy texted me today and he actually reminded me of it. Aww. I kind of forgot about it.
He was missing that.
Yeah. But
last
also,
year.
You didn't sign up for a tournament today, but you made some plans, right?
Yeah, me and my friend Maddie are going to fish in the Lake of the Woods Women's Walleye Tournament. It is one that I've never done before. I'm not sure if she's done it before, but I don't think so. It's a little different for me because I don't really fish for walleye a whole lot unless we're fishing for dinner.
Which is okay.
I've never done it in a competitive way before, so kind of looking forward to that. It'll be different. It'll be fun.
Yeah, so the format of this one, it's actually okay that
it's so weird.
It's okay though that you only fish for dinners because you can only keep
that's
fish
all, yeah,
that you can keep for dinner.
That's true. Normally
they would have, like, our regulations changed. You can watch another episode of this to find out that
was the second one, right?
Yeah. But all, like, in the past you were able to weigh in one big fish weigh-in. You were able to take a picture of your one big fish and measure that for the tournament, but this year they changed it so it's just 3 that are under that.
Under, it has to be 17 inches or smaller.
16.9 inches.
Okay. Or smaller. And so you can't go over. So you want to get as close as possible 3 fish to that 16.9 inch mark. And then you have your weigh in or measure. I don't know what it goes off of weight. Well, I haven't read all the rules yet, but you like also need a big pike
as your tiebreaker. So it's like a length thing by 1/4 inch, I believe. And then
you're making this even more complicated. I did not understand it from the beginning.
Your 3 walleye.
Yeah.
By 1/4 inch, there's a slot limit.
Okay.
Up to 16.9 inches. So it's actually 16.75 would be the biggest fish that you can catch.
Okay.
And then it's a length thing, cumulative weight. Cumulative length for your 3 fish. So obviously if there's a couple teams that catch your max, which is very possible in this, to have 3 16.75s.
Yeah. Is that Indy?
I don't know. Our dog just ripped.
Not this one. The one that's over there.
We wouldn't be here.
I wonder if that picked up on the mics.
But yeah, so if there's two teams that have the same length, the tiebreaker is how
whoever
big
got a bigger pike.
Your pike is compared to the other team.
Right, because there is a max on what you can get for the walleye. So it's not like whoever gets the biggest walleye.
Yeah, I have to sneeze. Keep going.
Well, don't sneeze.
I'll fix it.
Okay. So I'm going to read off one of the questions that we got on our last episode. It was written on our YouTube video of the podcast. It was from Brandon Stefanik. And said, "Hey, Keisha and Jayden, watched your podcast and have a question as a local fishing angler that fishes against you and friend. There was one part where you and Keisha were talking about largemouth and smallmouth, how Gussie and a few other guys were always winning tournaments with largemouth, and now you see them more people winning with smallmouth, that you find them more consistent than largemouth. I find this the opposite for me. I find largemouth more consistent for me than smallmouth. Is this because of the different styles of fishing? Also, not to get on the forward-facing sonar topic in specific detail, but like down scan and side scan, spot lock, trolling motors, different GPS chips. Do you think that smallmouth is more of a dominating fish now because of the electronics and technology advances? Looking forward to your input in the next podcast and see you in the tournaments."
Okay. So that's a big question. There's a couple parts to it.
Okay, so the first part basically is, I find the opposite for me. I find that largemouth is more consistent for me than smallmouth is. Is this because of our different fishing styles?
Absolutely. So, for sure. Like, if I find that my strength is smallmouth and I'm finding them more consistently, and you're finding the largemouth more consistently, it's definitely because of our different fishing styles. Mm-hmm. And then I'll tie this kind of into that second part of the forward-facing sonar and electronics. Sorry, what was the question?
Just reading the second part of it.
Yeah.
Also, not to get on forward-facing sonar topic in specific detail, but down scan and side scan, spot lock, trolling motors, different GPS chips. Do you think that smallmouth is more of a dominating fish now because of the electronics and technology advances?
Yes. I do believe it is.
So,
Again.
Years ago, before all of the technology, do you think that largemouth was bigger, like more of a common thing because you didn't see on the sonar and everything like that, the fish deep, like beneath the boat? You would just be fishing more of the shores and like rocks and stuff that you can like see that you know are there?
Yeah, I'll get into it a little bit more in depth and kind of explain the differences between like onshore and offshore. Mm-hmm. Is the way I like to differentiate things.
You're having a tough time talking tonight. Differentiate?
Spell that.
Differentiate?
Yeah. So I would put it into two categories, being fish that are onshore and then fish that are offshore. So the depth of those fish is relative, but in the past, what a lot of people would do is just fish the shoreline, look at trees, rocks, weed lines that are adjacent to the shore, things like that. And now you're seeing a lot more anglers targeting offshore structure that you can't see with your eyes. You can see it with your electronics.
Yeah.
You could still target fish offshore before, like you could blind cast out on flats or at reefs, humps, whatever, but it wasn't nearly as effective as it is now. So I think that's why you're seeing it happen, where smallmouth are dominating more, especially now, opposed to back then. But I still think, like, if you were to turn back the clock and have electronics back then, it's hard to say, but I think the largemouth would do better consistently back then than they do now.
Why?
I just think that there's more numbers of them.
Really? You think that that's changed quite a bit?
Yeah, like even even it seems recently like the amount of big largemouth that you can catch seems pretty spotty, whereas it was a little bit more consistent back then. Like on a high water year, obviously, like I said in the last episode, and that's what he's referring to, is the high water years, largemouth still play, but if it's not, they don't.
And that's a thing.
And it can be more consistent. Sorry to cut you off, but it can be more consistent for you. But they're still not winning tournaments consistently.
And I think that it's a little bit different too, though. Well, it's definitely different depending on where you are. Specifically, we're talking about Lake of the Woods right now. Like, some people that are watching this, they might be thinking like, oh, that's not what it's like here at all. Or even in Bassmaster, like you think of where they're fishing down in the States.
True.
Like they're catching a lot of largies, but that's not Lake of the Woods is so different.
We also got a comment about, I think he was talking about Lake Skugog in southern Ontario. It's got a way longer name. That's a short form name for it.
Okay.
But yeah, he was saying that largemouth still, win or play for the most part there. So yeah, it varies depending on where you are. But here in the Lake of the Woods area, same thing with the Winnipeg River, and all of the other smaller lakes. Unless it's a fall tournament, it's typically, even a fall tournament, like it's typically won with smallmouth like 8 or 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's what we see around here, like most of the time.
Yeah.
But I haven't really gone to any tournaments outside of Kenora. So like for me, I have no idea. For you, you've been to a few of them, but yeah, that's what we've been seeing consistently.
But even like if you take Bassmaster tournaments, like the Elite Series, they come up north to the St. Lawrence River. It's kind of a bad example because the smallmouth are so big in Lake Ontario that it doesn't even make sense. Like there's great largemouth fishing on the St. Lawrence River, but it just does not compare to the smallmouth. But then you look at a lake like last year, they went to Lake Champlain. In the past, kind of similar to Lake of the Woods, where largemouth played a lot more. They were a lot more consistent, and they won the tournament with mixed bags a lot, similar to how it worked here. Now it's just straight smallmouth.
Yeah, didn't Gussie won last year with mostly smallmouth, didn't he?
You're talking about the Classic?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's generally a largemouth lake.
Yeah.
He kind of got onto a special deal, and I don't know exactly because
obviously
I wasn't like there with him, but
no,
it seemed like he got on a special deal a couple of years ago. He had it mostly
he just
to himself.
How to figure, like he figured it out.
Yeah,
but
on a lake where it's generally not won with smallmouth, or has contended with smallmouth until he
just found them. He just did an incredible job.
I'm gonna sneeze. Moving on.
Moving on.
So are we just talking about tournaments now?
We're into the... Okay, Rusty, don't knock over my drink, please. I hope that doesn't fall. Yeah, mostly. All the rest of our questions that we kind of gathered for today are like pretty much about tournaments.
Which I'm excited about. Because I think it's fitting because we're getting in the spring, and tournament fishing is really fun.
You're getting excited.
Yeah, and if you are an amateur angler, somebody who's new to fishing, I think tournament fishing is one of the best ways to like really engage yourself with it, because you can compare yourself against other people, and it's not like you're comparing yourself just for like the clout that you want
not at all
be the best, but it's really
but no,
great.
it helps you like learn too, though.
You learn so much. Like if you enter a tournament not knowing anything at all,
yeah,
and you fish the 2 days, let's say it's a 2-day tournament, in those 2 days you're going to learn 1,000 times more than you would just going out on a lake on a regular day, because you're forced to fish even if the weather's bad, if the wind is up, if it's cloudy, if it's sunny, if it's hot, cold, rainy, whatever, you're forced to fish. And then you also get to compare yourself on that day of how you did. Like I remember a few times back when I was younger, like it would be an off day, or it really felt like an off day, and I just could not figure it out. I was like, man, these other guys must, like, the weights must be so low today. You come back and everyone crushed them. You're like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Like, and that you get to compare yourself to that and just know that everybody catches them every day.
Yeah.
You just have to
That reminds me actually of a fun little tournament that wasn't like an official tournament, but just one that was held during COVID when you couldn't really do the big tournaments, that me and you fished for fun, and it was in Shoal Lake. And usually when you go to Shoal Lake, you can crush them. Like you told me a million times, like, there's so many fish in Shoal Lake, blah, blah, blah. We went to that tournament and we could not find any. And like,
we sucked
so bad, and we tried so hard. Like, we tried everything. Like, I was exhausted by the end of that day because we were trying so hard. There was one fish that I wish that we got, but
I have to tell that story.
I punched it off with the net, and it was at the very end of the day, and I was so upset, and I started crying because I was just so tired and so frustrated. It was hilarious, but you like didn't even care. You're like, it's fine, like it's no big deal. And I was like bawling my eyes out. Not actually, but I was like, I cried for like 5 minutes.
It was huge.
I was so upset, and like, I thought you were gonna be so mad at me, but you weren't. You're so nice, but like,
there's a good chance that we would have won if
we had the tiniest bag.
We had 11
ever.
pounds or something like that, and 14 pounds won. Our smallest fish was probably less than 2 pounds.
14 pounds didn't win. I think it was bigger than that.
No, it was 14 and a half pounds.
I thought people like got...
We had 11. Jamie had 11. We started in the same little zone as Jamie, remember?
Yeah.
And that's the zone that I had, whatever.
That's where you should
we went
go,
to all three of like the best zones on that side of the lake, and they were all just...
The one that we found that we didn't end up getting, I told you to go there because I just had a feeling. Do you remember that? You're like, we're not going over there. I was like, we need to go over there. We have nothing. Let's just go for fun. And we went over there, and you caught it. We just didn't net it. Yeah. Anyways, so that reminded me of that story, actually. We did have one other question before we get more into the tournaments. This was a question, I believe, from James Fletcher on YouTube. It said, what is Keisha's biggest bass, and was it with Jayden?
All right, that's for you.
I don't remember, honestly. I don't remember the weight. I think my biggest one I ever caught was when we were... I think me and you...
I remember the biggest one you caught.
Was it like last summer when we were fishing by Ash Rapids? Just like...
Whoa.
Okay, that's such a huge area. Yeah, like, relax.
It was.
And Sean and Maddie were fishing too, and were we pre-fishing for something?
Yeah, the bronze back.
Oh, we were. Okay, wasn't it like 4.5?
No, it was
4.2.
It was over 4. It wasn't like well over 4 though. It was like a 4.
No, 4.3. I remember actually.
4.03.
No.
4.30.
4.30. I remember that now.
Okay.
I think we have a picture of... Well, we definitely have a picture of it. I'll try and find it. And if we find it, we'll put it on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. If I find that photo. But, yes, I'm pretty sure that's the biggest one I've ever caught.
For sure it would be.
Yeah. I haven't caught very many big ones.
They don't get much bigger around here.
Yeah. And I usually am the person bringing in the 2-pounders.
What did you catch it on?
What the heck is that thing called again?
A jerkbait?
Nope, it wasn't a jerkbait. It was the
No. The spy bait's what you used in the
spy
tournament.
bait.
You caught it on
I caught a bunch on that in the tournament.
It was a white and blue number 8 sized X-Wrap.
Shut up. I don't think so.
Yep.
I swear it was a spy bait.
Nope.
That was in the tournament a couple days later. Okay. Well, I believe that was my biggest bass, and yes, it was with Jayden.
On a jerkbait.
on a jerkbait. Okay, I don't know why I put my phone away. That was a quick question. But okay, the next one that I had here was, have you fished any tournaments together, and if so, what ones, and how did it go? So that we kind of just answered. Yeah,
we touched on the Shoal Lake one, but the other one that we fished together is called the Bronze Back.
Yeah.
And the format of that tournament is really cool because you have to be under 2 categories to enter. You have to be a male-female team, or female-female, whatever, or an adult and a youth.
Yes.
So a youth being somebody that's under 18. I think 17 is the cutoff. Like as soon as you turn 18, you're done. So it's really cool. It's aimed at getting women and kids into fishing, which is what we stand for here.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's how I got into it too. In a tournament fishing, that's how I got into it.
On
My
the
dad,
yeah.
I was 8 years old.
When you first fished the bronze
When
bag?
I first fished
and
the
that was your
bronze
first
bag.
tournament?
Yep. And that's what like really hooked me. We got, at the time, there's only 100 teams and only 100 teams.
Well, now there's 150?
120, I think.
Okay.
But at the time, there's 100 teams, and we ended up getting in 13th our first year.
Okay.
And so I was like super proud of myself.
That's really good, yeah. Because out of 100,
yeah, it was a little.
and it's always full. Like this
was,
tournament fills up so fast.
Yeah, like the first morning.
Yeah.
It fills up.
A lot of them, like they're open. The registration's open for a long time, even up to the day of the tournament, because they just, they have so many spots and lots of them. People, like you'll get close to the like full capacity or whatever you want to call it, but people linger and like sign up throughout the year until the actual date. But this one, like, sign up.
Yeah, if you don't sign up the first day, you don't get in.
Like we were away last year, I think, on the day of sign up. So Jayden actually had to post data check and like bring it to them before that actual day, before we left town, because otherwise we would have missed it. We didn't actually fish it together last summer. We were supposed to when we signed up, but our baby was just so young still, and he was not ready to be away from me. I was still nursing him, and it just wasn't going to happen. So you actually ended up fishing with your sister, which went great.
Yeah, we did we were in 6th or 7th after the first day. Had a great day.
Yeah.
Kind of wheels fell off a bit on the second day. It wasn't like a terrible day or anything. We just didn't catch.
No, you still did good, but it just wasn't as good as the first day.
Decent. We just didn't have the two that, we had the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the last time that we did it together
was 2 years ago. I was pregnant. I was very pregnant and very uncomfortable. Pardon?
Hormonal.
I was a little hormonal. I was also just so uncomfortable and so tired. I remember I had a nap in the boat for like 3 hours, I'm pretty sure, on the first day. Was that the second day? Second day.
I don't know.
It was the second morning.
Fishing was a little lower on the priorities. Bad. Also, like, obviously you're pregnant, right? And at takeoff. Takeoff's one of the coolest thing about a tournament, too.
Yeah. It's fun. It's like a lot of fun, especially because your boat goes so fast.
Yeah, if you're in a fast boat, you're passing everybody and weaving in between, and it's so bumpy, and everybody's trying to, whatever.
I was so paranoid, and I was like so pregnant, so I was paranoid of like all the bumps and stuff. So I was like, I am not going into preterm labor. So I told Jayden, I'm like, you can't go fast. You can't. He was so mad. So we slowed down.
To be fair though, like, it is smoother the faster you go.
Well, yes. Yeah, it can be. But when you hit a bump, it's like hard. So I'd rather it be like more like flowy. Yeah, sure. That's a good way to put it. The first year that we did it, that we only did it together 2 summers, I believe, that tournament twice, right?
Yep, 2 times. We
2
sucked both times.
The first time was better though.
Yeah.
I think we were like middle of the pack.
We're coming back for revenge this year.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll do better.
We will. July 18th or 19th?
Something like that.
We're coming for them.
Yeah. So what other tournaments are you doing this summer?
So in our area, we have a bunch. I'll kind of name them off, kind of going in order. The first week that Bass opens is July 1st. Every time. So the next weekend is always Shoal Lake. The Shoal Lake Bass Classic. Mm-hmm. That one's great. I love that one. I love all of them. The next one would be the Bronzeback, which is the one we're going to do.
Yes.
And then KBI is after that.
It's like near the beginning of August, KBI.
And then you have Bassin' for Bucks is the weekend after September long weekend.
Okay.
And then after that, we have a bunch of fall tournaments too, but the only one that I'm doing as of now for sure would be
White Dog.
The White Dog one.
You love that tournament.
Yeah, so somebody actually asked us on Facebook, like a story about more of it. So yeah, there's not a lot of info about it. Mainly
it's
because
a fairly new tournament, isn't it?
4th year.
Yeah, that's fairly new.
The 5th year coming up now. Mm-hmm. Been trying to keep it on the DL a little bit.
Yeah, not anymore.
But not anymore.
People are knowing, like, a lot of people know about it now anyways. Last year it was bigger.
Yeah.
This year it'll be even bigger.
I think they have it capped at 50 teams, but they get a really good donation for the first prize. It's $20,000 for first place.
Yeah.
With 50 teams, that's like unheard of.
Yeah. Well, think of the KBI. The biggest prize is like maybe 20,000, but that's with 120 teams, 150 teams.
135.
Yeah.
At $800 per person.
Yeah.
Or per team.
Yeah, so that's huge. And the White Dog one only costs $400?
$500
$500
to enter, 50 teams max. It's in White Dog on the English River system.
Yeah.
So it's, like I said, it's...
well, that's like a 45-minute or an hour drive from Kenora, isn't it?
It's an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking of Menaki, but it's so much further than that.
So we stay in Menaki, and it's about a 45-minute ride to Menaki from Kenora. That's where we stay, and then it's 45 minutes more to get up to the landing. It's called Goshawk. Goshawk. That's how it's spelled.
I think you spelled it wrong.
Goshawk. Goshawk.
Okay.
Yeah. Nailed it.
I'm going to fact check you.
But there's no maps or anything, right? So there's a lot of locals from up at the reserve there that fish in it. They have a great time. Everybody is very welcoming to us.
Yeah.
Coming from Kenora. So I think last year there was 30 teams in total.
Last year, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
all
wow.
competing for 20 grand.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which is crazy. So the chances of you winning is like...
It was pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no map of the lake, but it's a beautiful lake, and the guys up there will show you around. So if you haven't been to the lake, they have like a map with the trails of where it's safe to go, so you can get from A to B, and then you just kind of go from there and figure it out. I can say you can't catch fish everywhere in that lake.
But the ones that you do find are huge.
But when you get onto a program, there's like really big fish up there.
Yeah. You always have so much fun. Jayden's obsessed with that tournament.
Yeah.
And that lake
if you're not
in general.
catching bass anyways, you can catch walleye from 0 to 40 feet all throughout the lake. It's crazy. You just like, if you have a live scope, you just pan over and you can see like 40 over there, 40 over here, big one over here. It's cool.
I made him, well, not really my fault, but he missed the tournament 2 years ago. So last year he fished it again. But the year before that...
that's when we had Dax.
We had Dax a week before that, so he did not go.
I went to the weigh-in.
You did?
Yep.
I don't even remember that.
On the Sunday, I went to the weigh-in.
Okay. Well, the guy, Sean, who he usually fishes it with, he fished it with Maddie, who I'm fishing the women's walleye tournament with.
Yep.
But yeah, she filled in for Jayden, and I think she had a lot of fun in that one too.
Yeah, it's just so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's a lot of fun.
Fishing up there is awesome. It's a little more difficult to get to. You don't have very many amenities around it, but
or any.
Yeah, but we all stay in Menaki. There's a couple of resorts that are open to stay at there, so you just rent a cabin there, drive up, and everyone out there is super easy to talk to, very nice. If I see you up there, I'm going to talk to you, so feel free to ask more questions. And yeah,
everyone's going to go now just to talk to you, Jade.
And I don't mind that because it's a neat place.
I was joking, but okay. Yeah, and me and Maddie always go together for the weigh-ins. Well, except for the year that she was fishing it for you. But it's always fun when we head up there. Last year we brought the kids. It was great.
Little vacay.
Yeah, little vacay, hour and a half away with the kiddos. There's some cute dogs around there. Watched a dog eat a little baby's sock last time, actually. And then the baby was in the truck with the mom, and she's like, "Where'd your sock go?" I'm like, "I just saw the dog eat your sock." Anyways, that was funny.
And there's always bears on the road as you go up there too.
Yeah,
like those little cubs.
There's like a mama bear with her like 3 cubs this one year, and they just like come right up to the truck and but they're like, I wouldn't get out of the vehicle, but they're always like very friendly from a distance. And I don't know, they're just so cute, the cubs.
Yeah, they just waddle up to the window.
I guess people maybe feed them or something, I'm not sure, but they just like come up to the vehicles and they just like want to say hi. It's really cute. Okay, so what tournaments are you doing this summer, and which ones have you signed up for?
Didn't I just answer that?
Kind of.
I'm doing all of them.
Okay.
There's a few.
Well, all of these questions kind of tie into each other, so I'm just kind of like, you just go off of one and it kind of answers another one.
In addition to the ones that I mentioned, there's a few other smaller ones. So there's a little trail. If you're getting into the whole sport, it's a little bit, more approachable. So the MBA, it's called Manitoba Bass Anglers. They have a couple tournaments here.
I forgot about those ones.
On the Ontario side. They usually have one that's on the Winnipeg River here.
Yeah,
I love that place. So
you
I love
always
that
do really well for that one too.
I've been first 3 out of the 4 times.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
And you fished that one with Sean as well.
Yeah, so that's fun. They have one at Falcon Lake here that's pretty close in Manitoba, and all over the place. They'll have a few. They're smaller, pretty small entry fee. I think it's usually around $200 to enter. Only maybe 20 to 40 boats at a time. So it's a smaller venue, everything like that.
Yeah.
A little bit
the
more laid back.
weigh-ins are usually at Perch Bay, and it's a lot of fun.
For the river one. Yeah.
For the Winnipeg River one, yeah. This year I am fishing 2 tournaments. Usually I fish one, the Bronzeback with you, and this year I'm doing the one with Maddie as well, so 2.
Yeah, I'll do everyone I can. Everyone that you let me.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't love so much is there's a fishing tournament every couple weeks. And when there's a fishing tournament every couple weeks, you like to pre-fish for them. Every single one you like to pre-fish for a couple weeks ahead of time.
I mean, yeah.
So you're literally all summer long pre-fishing, fishing a tournament, pre-fishing for the next tournament, and then fishing the tournament, and then pre-fishing for the next tournament, and then fishing the tournament. And it's never ending. And you also need to make some money here. I'm not working right now, so someone's got to.
Yeah.
So we got to cut down a little bit on those pre-fishing days and just, get like a good day or 2 in for pre-fishing, not 2 weeks worth, and then, work a little in between as well.
Yeah, whatever. So going back to the White Dog tournament, I forgot to mention the date of it. It's in the fall. It's usually
beginning of October 6th-ish.
Yeah, somewhere in there. The second.
It's like Thanksgiving weekend, isn't it? Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah.
Or the weekend before, or Thanksgiving weekend. Something
it was
like that.
Thanksgiving weekend last year. I don't know if it'll be the same this year, but it was.
Canadian Thanksgiving. Not American.
For all y'all Americans out there. That was a terrible accent.
Yeah, it was.
We have something exciting. We actually have a sponsor for this episode.
The whole podcast, actually.
The whole podcast.
Moving forward.
We have a sponsor, and we wanted to talk a little bit about it. Is your grandma's carpet a little bit outdated?
Or your dad's hardwood upstairs just not in the same shape that it used to be?
NWO Flooring Incorporated offers you the highest quality with competitive pricing.
Whether you're looking to do a complete home makeover or just update a few rooms,
let NWO Flooring be your first call. He actually did our flooring in our house, and I honestly can't even,
our home is messed. It's messed up. Nothing is straight.
Nothing's
the floor
level.
Looks like a wave.
Oh, it's terrible. It's a very old home, and it was not built very well.
The poor guy. But it looks awesome.
It looks incredible. I was so fed up with our house before we got the floors done. I hated it. Honestly, I was complaining about our house, asking Jayden if we could move, every couple days. And now that the flooring is done, Andrew and NWO Flooring did such a great job when he was finished. We actually we're okay with staying here for a little bit longer because it actually made that big of a difference in our home.
Yeah, they really know what they're doing. Also,
he's fast too.
He does great tile work, showers, backsplashes. His showers are really nice. So
he has an Instagram page which shows some of his work. And
we'll link all that below, and then
yeah, it's great work. I highly recommend. He's also quick and clean, which is huge. So highly recommend. So hire NWO flooring for all of your flooring needs. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to ask you, this wasn't a question from anyone, but I wanted to ask you to share a memorable experience / fishing story from your time on the lake. What's something that comes to mind?
That's really generic.
Yep.
That's broad.
What comes to your mind first when I said that?
The most memorable fishing like experience?
Doesn't have to be the most memorable, but something memorable.
A memorable fishing experience. I keep repeating it because I'm blanking.
Anything at all?
The only thing that comes to my mind when you say that is when I proposed to you.
Oh.
Which you're going to love.
Oh my God. That. That's cute.
So when I proposed to Keisha, when I asked her to marry me.
Okay, keep going.
Maybe you tell the story.
Nope. I asked the question, you tell the story.
So I had gotten the ring, and she was at work for the day, so I wanted to ask her in a way that I could kind of like incorporate into myself, how I like to live my life. And just
surprise.
Something that would be memorable. So she was at work, and I asked her to go fishing with me, and I hid the ring in the boat, like in the front compartment underneath some life jackets. So I pick her up, but I think you met me on the dock. Like I
met you.
I was already in the water, like waiting for you after you got off work.
Yeah.
And so your big thing was that you wanted to get out of your work clothes and put something comfy on. So I grabbed you.
I called him during my work day, and I was like, hey, if we're going fishing, because I was wearing a dress that day, like a very uncomfortable dress. It was like, I don't know, just didn't want to wear it fishing. So I was like, please bring me like a baggy t-shirt and some shorts. Like I just want to be comfy. So
yeah, anyway, so I shouldn't have, looking back at it now, I should have just been like, I forgot. But she kept saying it like 10 times. Like
okay, but I asked you to bring that. I was like,
she texted me, make sure you got my clothes, make sure you do this, make sure you got this. I was like, okay, whatever. So I brought it. We went fishing, and I think it was the first spot. Like I wanted to just get it over with because I was thinking about it so much. Yeah, okay. I didn't want to just
it was
go
the
through
first
the whole
stop
night
we
and
made.
then do it at the end.
Yeah.
So I pulled up to like a pretty looking cliff that's pretty close to where we live and wouldn't be too far of a boat ride to go see it every once in a while. Mm-hmm. So pulled up there, and the first thing she does is like, where's my clothes?
Because I was still wearing my dress.
I was like, no, you look fine. It's fine. Just like, let's fish a bit. You can change later. She's like, no, like, where's my clothes? Because I kind of I don't know if I hid them, but I
You did.
Had them away.
I was like looking in the compartments. I'm like, where'd you put them? Like, where are they? I want to get changed.
And I had my mind on proposing to you. So I'm not prepared to buy myself more time. So I ended up, I was just I was like, okay, whatever. Because I wanted to set up my phone and record it. And I did. Yeah. But with you rummaging around in the back, I couldn't do that. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll let her change. So you changed. Then I set my phone up. I went back up. You were casting or whatever. And I just grabbed the ring. You
were pretending to show me how to cast. And I'm like, dude, you've taught me this a long time ago. I know how to do this.
Was I trying to get you to look away?
I think so. Yeah.
Anyways.
You were pretending that you were filming a video trying to teach someone how to cast or use a jerkbait or something like that. And I was annoyed. I was like, why are you trying to teach me how to do this? Am I that bad? I already know how to do this. So I was kind of getting annoyed with you, honestly. I was like, why are we doing this? Am I not good enough?
As she's doing that, I grab a ring, and I'm like, I was trying to get your attention to turn around because at this point you weren't turning around.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I can't remember what I said. I haven't watched the video in a while.
You said Keisha, and I was like, what? And you're like, Keisha. And I was like, what do you want? I'm doing this or something like that.
Yeah, like you got...
I was giving you attitude because you wouldn't let me like find my clothes, or it was because also of you teaching me how to do something I already knew how to do.
So I just like annoyed you to the point.
You just kept sitting there. You're like, Keisha. I'm like, what? I look over and he's on one knee.
With the ring.
Yeah. That was really cute. And it was, definitely memorable. And now, like, watching that video back, I'm like, I am so sorry that I was giving you such a hard time. You were just trying to be cute.
Yeah.
And propose to me. But no, it was really sweet. I started crying. I said yes. Gave you a big hug, and we just kind of sat there for a few minutes, and I don't know.
Now we're married.
Not actually.
In Mexico.
Not even. We got married. We had the wedding. But we're not officially. We haven't officially signed any papers yet.
As far as the Ryu Palace knows, we're married.
Oh, should I show the?
No.
I want to show the certificate.
You're gonna rumble your mic around.
No, I'm not. It's right here.
All right. Well, we'll end it on that. I'm ready for bed.
No, it's right here.
Yeah. We'll end it on this.
We gotta show it.
I'm ready for bed.
Sorry, Rusty. I got one hand. I can't move my mic, or Jayden will get mad. Very official.
That's our wedding certificate.
For anyone just listening and not watching, I am showing my wedding certificate from Mexico.
It looks like a second grader did it on...
It's like a PowerPoint presentation printed off or something like that. Like, it's really... super cute.
Yeah.
Anyways, we had our wedding, but yeah. I think that was I don't know. We'll get married eventually.
We will. But for now,
it'll happen.
I want to go to bed, so I think we're going to sign off here.
Okay, cranky. Okay, well, drop your comments down below if you're watching on YouTube. You could also DM us some questions on Instagram if you prefer to be, anonymous.
Yeah. Or
you can message on Facebook, like literally.
So yeah, if you want to learn more
however you want to do it.
Fishing. Lots of questions have been coming in about the tournaments. So if you want to learn more about some tournaments, ask some more questions about tournaments.
Yeah, ask us some specific questions. What are you wanting to know?
Yeah, I'd be happy to answer. And then next week, we're going to incorporate something new. It's called the draft. So we're going to have a topic that we're going to pick, and then we'll each pick our top 3 answers in a draft format. She's going to start, I'll go second. And then we'll let you guys decide who wins the game based on our picks, like whoever picks the 3 best answers over the other person.
If I can figure it out, we might actually post a little poll on Spotify. I think you can do that.
Oh, cool.
And you can answer who won.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and then ask us all the questions.
Yeah, all of the questions. We love to hear what you guys have to say. So we're looking forward to reading through all of it. And we will see you next time.
See you next week.